So today we are filling the large Vegepod. So we have 9 large bags of the Fox Farm good stuff and a giant bag of perlite. We're gonna put it all together, mix it up, show you guys the breakdown, and get this thing assembled. See you soon. What's up, guys? All right, we have this large Vegepod assembled. The first step is perlite. You gotta load this thing up with perlite. This is gonna be the buffer that separates the roots from the plant, and this is where the oxygenation is gonna happen. The air can flow through this stuff. It's 0 nutrient value. It just adds as a media to hold that stuff in place, lock in the moisture. It's porous and the air flows right through it, allowing the water and nutrients to get right to the roots. All right, just gonna add a little bit of water to lock in this moisture, get this thing ready for the soil. It's going to take at least 9 or 10 of these bags to fill up this large Vegepod, but once it's full, we're ready to rock. We won't have to water it for another 60 days. If I was a vegetable, I'd want to live in a Vegepod at the highest hill in Brentwood, California, because that just seems like the place to be. But since I'm not, I can come in and out and tend to the veggies. How about that? 2 bags down, 7 to go. Then we're gonna load this thing with juveniles. We'll water them and get them nice and saturated. Once they're saturated and soaked, we'll put the cover on. Okay. In a natural environment, when your plant utilizes all the nutrients and the nutrients are zapped, the mushroom, the mycorrhizae, their intention is to replenish that stuff. So they're pretty much under every tree on this planet, along with a network of decomposers like earthworms, roly-polies, all kind of bugs, millipedes, centipedes, you name it. And their job is to break down the dead matter, dead material, and deposit the good stuff right back into the ground so you can start over. In this environment, this stuff is so loaded, all we got to do is keep it moist. Once it's zapped in about 6 to 9 months, we'll replenish it with another layer and then keep the nutrients dropping down to the reservoir. All right, so remember, guys, when you're transplanting juveniles from a nursery into your system, you got to make sure you check all the leaves. You don't want any hijackers. If this guy gets to your garden, he's going to zap all of your leaves of its chlorophyll and deem your plant worthless. So before you transplant any plant, unless it's from the organic spot, you better check it. And you might want to check those too, because you just never know. And one little guy that's 1 centimeter by 1 inch long will tear up your whole plant. So just because I saw this one, I'm gonna go hunting for more. So see this guy? This is what you do not want. I just knocked this guy off of this red Russian kale leaf, and he is looking for the chlorophyll. If you let these caterpillars remain on your leaves, they will zap all of the chlorophyll from your leaf, and the photosynthesis process won't occur. You'll have holes in your leaves, they'll be zapped of your chlorophyll and your good sugar, and it'll just be worthless. So if you see a guy like this, you get him out of there. You feed him to your fish, you feed him to something, a bird, but you get him out of your garden. What's up? Checking in, a little progress report. I'm here with my girl Maggie. We're setting her up. We're about 80% in this install. Just a little tidbit of advice. You want to put plants that are related right next to each other so they don't compete. So we have 2 or 3 different types of kale right next to each other. We're going to put the Swiss chard on the outside because they get really bold and really big and have really big root masses. We don't want them to invade. But I'm excited. It's going to be great. The herbs are going to be on the far end, the salad greens on the left, and the juiceable greens in the middle. So we're looking forward to it. Going to have fun. I'm excited. I know she's excited. It's going to be great. Stay tuned. All right, so since the Vegepod has a reservoir technology, we want to definitely put the plants with longer root systems right on top of the reservoir so that root dangles into the reservoir. We don't want to mix them here where there's not really a whole volume of water. This we can save for the herbs because they don't really have deep roots. They'll have plenty of water and they won't need to grow too much vertically.
So the deep goes in the deep part, the long ones go in the deep part, and the more shallow root goes in the shallow.
That's right. That's it.
Awesome.
So this vinyl shade cloth is going to knock down the sun a bit. It's also going to keep any kind of animal or pest from getting inside and tearing up our garden. So here's our mister, right? This vein runs down the center of the Vegepod top, and this connects to a water hose into a battery operated timer. So what that's going to do is allow us 1 minute per day of misting. And again, it's not to replenish the water supply, more to keep the environment cool so that our leaves don't bolt or wilt. All right, so it's a wonderful piece of technology. Again, you connect this to a water hose. Standard water hose connects right here. We put a timer on that thing, and you go out of town, and everything's going to be cool when you get back.
Vegepod.
Vegepod. So these are the leaves of the rainbow chard, not to get mistaken with the beet. The California beet looks similar to this, but it gives you a nice big ball of nitrous oxide. So you see a lot of weightlifters and bodybuilders drink beet juice before their workout so they can get a natural boost for that.
I drink beet juice too.
And super gnarly
Maggie?
I drink beet juice. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I drink it.
You would put this in your pho, your Vietnamese soup.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now this one doesn't seed, so we're going to leave this flower here. Normally we would top this flower to prevent it from seeding, but we're going to keep this here, attract some bees, keep it smelling really nice. Behind we have some regular Italian basil, okay? This is what you make your pesto with, right? It's very prolific. It's going to expand, get really big in this system. Next to that, red Russian kale, my favorite juicing kale. Very sweet, very good flavor. Next to that, lacinato, or Italian, or elephant kale. 3 different names. We have some romaine next to that. This is going to be for your salads and your sandwiches, etc. Wild arugula to spice things up a bit. A nice mescaline salad mix with a few different things: bok choy, arugula, radicchio, salanova, etc. A row of cilantro, right?
This
cilantro,
is the one that I always kill.
super hard to establish, but once it's established, it does really well. In this environment, it's going to be fine. Not worried about it at all. My favorite lettuce, butter crunch lettuce. This is what you put on your Impossible Burger or your Beyond Burger.
Bring it down and hold it again.
It has a nice crunch to it. It gets really dark green and elegant. Butter crunch lettuce. Last but not least, we got some curly kale. More specifically, dark ibor. Right, it's going to get nice and big and vibrant and have a nice dark hue to it and a very curly appearance. It's going to crunch really nice, be nice and peppery. Mix it up, juice it, throw it in your salad, stir fry, what have you.
Because I have to.
Maggie's like, no.
All right, cool. So to wrap it all up, guys, Maggie here is going to get her juice on. She's going to come out here once a week and harvest, maybe daily, who knows. With her nutrition plan, I imagine she'll be out here daily, picking leaves. Again, we never chop the whole plant. We just pick the desired leaf, pick it off, add it to our mix. The next day, the next one takes over, it takes its place. That's going to last 6 months, 9 months. We're going to water this thing twice within that period of time after we establish the roots, of course. and she's gonna rock it out all summer into the fall.
What's that called? A comeback plant or something? Was there a name for that? The ones that you cut and
The
don't
ones
have
that
to
regenerate?
Yeah.
Okay, come back. That sounds good.
Okay.
I've never heard it. That's some good new technology.
Did we just coin something? I
Yeah,
swear I
the
heard
comeback
that.
plant spelled with a
Somebody
K, right? And once the fall drops, we're probably going to take some of these salads out of here and put nice autumn veggies. Nice squash, butternut squash, pumpkins, cucumbers, zucchini, stuff like that. But by then, I'm sure she's going to expand this one Vegepod into at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, because this is 6 feet, right? I
6
think I'm
feet
gonna
and
do
some
another
change.
6 feet root vegetable one,
that
right?
makes sense. Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
we gotta get our root vegetable.
like
on.
beets?
Well, I love beets, but the first thing I want to do, because it's mostly what I eat, is leafy greens.
Okay, cool.
And herbs, So
if you can keep these leafy greens alive, which I know you will, because you're that dope, and this is just so easy, then you can keep pretty much anything alive.
No, you're dope, Maggie.
No, you really are. You really are. Listen.
this
wrap
is
it up.
so dope.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Maggie.
Thank
We're gonna
you
kick it
so
all summer.
much.
Thank
This is
you.
okay. And we matched.
That's
I
right.
didn't plan that. We
Well,
didn't call each
10 to
other.
wear green.
Somehow.
It just works out that way.
That's right.
Thank you for the bomb juice and the great coffee, and enjoy your garden.
This is the grow your own moment.
That's right.
All right.
Vegepod, y'all. Peace.
Woo.